Oh, hello there. Welcome back to the Giggly Potions Academy. It's me, your favorite sorceress, Mycelia Quickwittson. Now, you must be wondering, what's going on? Is she hiking? Well, yes I am. And now you must wonder why. Is this her new hobby? Has the potion brewing business taken a toll on her mental health? Nah, it's none of those things. I've become an adult, and it's terrible. And everyone around me, they've begun hiking. Human beings and wizards, sorceress, orcs, goblins, everyone's become a hiker. And they're telling me, Mycelia, you have to start hiking. It's great for your physical health, but also your mental health. So here I am, hiking in a mountain in the middle of winter. And after hiking for a long 50 minutes, I must say that I wholeheartedly, most honestly, absolutely hate it. It's soul crushing, it's terrible, it's exhausting, and I've never felt grumpier in my life. I see myself more as a person who dilly-dallies in a meadow, who flies with the butterflies, and makes a flower bouquet, not hike a steep mountain. Do you know why mountains are high? Because they don't want to be hiked. If mountains wanted to be walked on, there would have been a plain. So this exhaustion, this terror, the horror of adulthood, it's got me thinking, there must be a better way to survive adulthood. So I got an idea. I think I'm gonna go back to my potion chamber and try to brew a potion for surviving adulthood. If you too want a way to survive adulthood that doesn't involve any hiking, follow me to my potion chamber and let's begin. That was the first and last time you're ever going to see me on a mountain. I think I'll be freezing for the next 15 days. But let's begin. Okay, so the first ingredient we're going to add to our potion is a cup of complain as much as you can. There we go. And this is an important ingredient for a potion. Why? Because it can help you survive adulthood and make the whole process more easier and more bearable for you. Because contrary to what many people might say, like you need to suck it up and be like a stoic and not like a crybaby. That's what adulthood is. Stop crying, stop complaining. They're actually wrong. People who don't complain, they are the unhealthiest people I know. Because what happens when you suppress your emotions? You suppress them for days, weeks, months, years, and eventually they'll come out, and they'll come out in the most dramatic, explosive, brutal way ever, because you're not supposed to hold anything in. You're not supposed to hold a fart in, let alone an emotion. Do you know how harmful it is when you hold in a fart? It can destroy your digestive system. And get this, when you hold in a fart, it actually goes back into your system and comes out through your breath. Oh, that's disgusting. You don't want to be around people who hold in their farts because they're smelly and they're shitty. So yeah, every time you feel like it, just complain. You're hot, you're cold, complain. You're anxious, stressed out, melancholic, depressed, just complain, complain, complain. Someone pissed you off, like your neighbor, your boss, your friend, your partner, complain, complain, complain in small doses every single day, because you're cleansing yourself. You're letting everything out into the air instead of suppressing it inside of you and let it rot your soul from the inside. And don't spare your parents. I think that you should complain to your parents the most, because after all, they gave life to you. Every action has a reaction, and you are the reaction. Of course, your complaining is going to be a bit uncomfortable for whomever spends the most time with you, like maybe your partner, your loved one. But if they love you, they'll get through it, they'll live with it. That's what love is. Let's stir a cup of complaint as much as you can. And the next ingredient we're going to add to our potion is a spoonful of accept you're surrounded by idiots. Another important and very powerful ingredient that helps you realize one thing. Everywhere you look, there are just idiots. Idiots are like The clouds. Everywhere you turn, there they are, hanging above you. Maybe once in a while you'll enjoy a cloudless sky, but eventually the clouds will return, and so will idiots. There are billions and billions of idiots out there, and getting outside means crossing paths with thousands of them. Your neighbors are idiots, your parents, your friends, your partner, your co-workers, your manager, they're all big, fat, smelly, flawed idiots. The sooner you realize this, it'll be easier on you to survive adulthood, unless you retreat into your own home and not cross paths with anyone, which is impossible to do. The thing is that even though you might think that you are not an idiot, that you're very highly evolved, conscientious, and wise person, you are is because an idiot is everyone else. The sooner you realize this, it'll be so much easier for your mental health. And we're all idiots because we're all running away from something. We're running away from ourselves. We don't know what we're doing. You think that you know what you're doing, that CEO, that company founder, that crypto investor, that YouTube video creator. No, no one knows what they're doing. Everyone is just running away from themselves because not doing this, not creating businesses or go hiking, conquering mountains and traveling, watching, I don't know, Netflix shows. It's just a distraction because not doing that means that we have to sit with ourselves in silence and reflect, and then we'll realize there's this darkness and shadow inside of us, this trauma, this existential threat, and it'll be too much to bear. That's why we prefer getting through our lives on autopilot very unconsciously, because the conscious mind is very, very disturbing. So the sooner you realize this, that you're surrounded by idiots, you're an idiot yourself, you're not going to have high expectations in your adulthood. Life will be easier to bear. Let's stir. And the next ingredient we're going to add is a splash of don't have high expectations. Another crucial ingredient for a potion. So what this ingredient does, it helps you come to terms with the fact that life is probably going to be okay. You have a job, a hobby if you're happy, a group of friends, a family, maybe you'll go on a vacation a few times per year. That's pretty much it. Many of the movies will disappoint you, and you'll keep on wondering, why do so many crappy movies get nominated for an Oscar these days? And everyone will keep on referencing Beyonce, and you'll be confused why. And one day you'll hear this song on the radio, and you have no idea who the singer is. Then you'll think to yourself, the music these days just sucks. You'll use this phrase a lot. Back in my days. Maybe one day you'll walk downtown, you'll see a woman wearing this crop top and you wearing the heaviest sweater there is. And then you'll think to yourself, crop top in this weather? You're probably never going to overcome your childhood trauma. You'll always feel nostalgic about the old days, be anxious about the future. You'll think about money a lot, and you'll always be short of it because you'll spend it on nonsense. You'll spend it on things you don't need, like an oxalotl night lamp or, I don't know, some banana holder. And sociopathic presidents will keep on ruling the world, and the wealth will be owned by a handful of people, and the rest of us will be caught in a grind, wake up, go to work, come back home, in a never ending cycle. And accidents will keep on happening everywhere around the world, and the media will be kind enough to inform you about it, about every single accident that's happening everywhere around you. That bus crash 10,000 kilometers away from you, you'll hear of it. That tsunami that's killed 100 people, you'll hear of it. Yeah. Every bear attack, every bee attack, every flood, yes, every mountain eruption, you'll hear everything. And then maybe one day you'll lie on the couch watching the news and you think to yourself, will they start reporting every time someone farts? And then, the years will fly by. You wake up one day and you're 60 and you have wrinkles on your face. That's pretty much it. And the sooner you accept this fact, it'll be easier on you, and adulthood will be easier to bear. Let's start. And the next ingredient we're going to add is 2 drops of rehearse the polite fuck off smile. Oh, trust me, you're going to need this polite fuck off smile. It's going to save so much energy because every day you're going to come across dozens and dozens of people who are going to annoy you. So instead of engaging with every one of them, wasting precious energy that you would use someplace else more wisely on more important things, just give everyone the polite fuck off smile. Those random grandmothers who stop you on the street and ask you, when are you going to have children? Just instead of saying, shut up, you old hags, just give them the polite fuck off smile. Your parents asking you, what are you doing with your life? Instead of saying, I'm working out the trauma that you gave me, just give them the polite fuck off smile. Your co-workers showing you pictures of their babies, instead of saying, that's one ugly baby, just give them the polite fuck off smile. Your manager asking you to do a team building meeting, instead of saying team buildings are just work disguised as fun, give them the polite fuck off smile. Doctors saying it's just stress, there's nothing wrong with you, instead of saying, I know you only see me as profit, you corrupt piece of shit. Give them the polite fuck off smile. Oh, believe me, the sooner you rehearse this smile, this polite smile, it's going to save so much precious time. That's very limited. So use your time on this earth very wisely and rehearse the polite fuck off smile. Let's start. And the next ingredient we're going to add to our potion is a sprig of find a good physiotherapist. Because here's the truth, your body will never be the same again. You're slowly decaying. Your nerves, your tissues, your muscles, your bones, they will never be as youthful as they were when you were a teenager. I'm sorry. Then the first body part that goes off is your back. One day you wake up in terrible pain, yelling, what's wrong with me? You're an adult who has back pain. Your back pain is just your back's way of saying, I've had enough. And can you blame your back? It has kept you upright throughout every stupid, crazy thing you did in your life. It kept you upright when you decided to fall for that emotionally unavailable person because it reminded you of your father too much, or that controlling person who reminded you of your mother too much. It kept you upright when you decided to pack your suitcase and travel the world instead of face your own issues. Kept you upright when you decided to pursue the meaningless degree because you were hoping it'll give you some stability in your life. Kept you upright when you decided to surround yourself with a toxic group of people because you thought that's what you deserved. It kept you upright when you decided to eat that bag of chips and drink the cocktail, even though you knew it's going to give you a migraine and a stomachache, but you didn't care. So yeah, find a good physiotherapist who will show you some stretches and exercises to mobilize your lower back. And while we're at the therapist part, also consider getting a good psychotherapist for your mind because adulthood is the period when many of your traumas will resurface. So you need a psychotherapist who will help you with your mental health as well, because a good back and a healthy mind are important for surviving adulthood. Let's start. And the last ingredient we're going to add to our potion is a pinch of spend some time at the cemetery. Now you must be wondering, why such a dreadful ingredient? Yeah, it's a bit dreadful, but it's very critical for our potion. Why? Because as you age, as you go into adulthood, you'll feel aware of your own mortality. Your body won't feel the same as you used to be, as the same as when you were a teenager. And then people will start disappearing from your life. Grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, teachers, friends. You'll wake up one day thinking, where did everyone go? Does the same thing await me? Well, yeah, you're slowly decaying into death. you know, Instead of running from this darkness, the best way you can do it is to face it head on, because you can find a good physiotherapist, a good psychotherapist. You can come to terms that everyone's an idiot, but you can never enjoy your adulthood unless you accept this fear of dying, your existential dread that will follow you everywhere you go. And what a better way to face it to spend some time at the cemetery where everything happens, where everything will ultimately end. Get used to the vibe among the dead people, get comfortable in your own skin, in your own life. And once you liberate yourself from this existential dread, you'll be so freer to live life in a very light-hearted way, playful way, without taking anything too seriously. Believe me, you cannot be happy as an adult unless you accept this dark part of life. What a better way than to spend some time at a cemetery. Let's stir. Well, our potion is all ready to be bottled up. And that's it for today's lesson. I hope you learned a thing or two, or at least I made you giggle. Or maybe I helped you realize that any fool can open up a YouTube channel and pretend they know what they're talking about. Don't listen to me, I'm talking nonsense here. But something is bugging me. And you know what? It took me around 4 hours to create this lesson for you. And it took you, what, 10 minutes to watch it? Do you think that's fair? No, really, do you think that's fair? I don't think it is. So, if you want to make it up to me, just a suggestion, if you want to make it up to me, why don't you subscribe to my channel? And also, while you're at it, why don't you also subscribe to the Giggly Potions Academy newsletter? I'll leave the link in the description box below for you. And before we go, don't forget this, it's very important. Potion brewing is cheaper than therapy. Okay, cheers. Toodaloo.